You heard from him right here first on NewsNation. Now UFO whistleblower David Grusch will take the stand on Capitol Hill. He is set to testify at the House Oversight Committee's hearing next week. Grusch is the former Air Force officer and high-ranking intelligence official who set those investigations into motion. He gave NewsNation an exclusive interview about what he calls a secret government program that retrieves craft of non-human origin.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone, yeah.
Grusch will be joined by two other witnesses, including Ryan Graves, the former Navy pilot who told NewsNation about his team's encounter with UFOs on the East Coast. Several lawmakers on Capitol Hill, including Florida Senator Marco Rubio and Tennessee Representative Tim Burchett, are pushing for more transparency surrounding unidentified aerial phenomenon, or as Burchett prefers to call them, UFOs. The big question: are any of these so-called UFOs or UAPs, whatever you call them, of non-human origin? And is there a secret government program that has one? NewsNation Washington correspondent Joe Khalil joins us live from Capitol Hill. And Joe, two of these witnesses have come on this show several times to tell their story. What do we expect them to say next week?
Well, if you take a step back, Elizabeth, this is really an incredible moment here. Next week, you're going to have people before a congressional committee under oath telling their stories, two of them that they have seen UAPs, UFOs with their own eyes, their stories backed up, by the way, by the military. And then you've got David Grusch's account, who we are very familiar with on NewsNation. His story and his allegations before the American public in the congressional record. It's hard to think of any word to describe all of this other than historic. Unlike anything we've ever seen before. That's what lawmakers promised heading into next week's unprecedented hearing, focusing not just on UFOs or UAPs, but also highlighting people who have seen them.
Are they domestic? Are they foreign? Or are they something else? Or do they not exist? And the government needs to have straight answers.
The witness list includes David Grusch, former Air Force intel officer turned whistleblower, who shared his bombshell claims on NewsNation, alleging the Pentagon has a number of crashed UFOs of non-human origin in its possession and is keeping it secret from the public.
We're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
Quite a number.
Alongside Grusch, we'll hear from David Fravor and Ryan Graves, two military pilots who've documented and gone public with their experiences seeing UAPs in the air firsthand. Both of their eyewitness accounts backed up by their military aircraft's radar images, which have since become public. Both accounts the military has confirmed, but has yet to provide an explanation for. Graves shared his experience with NewsNation.
We were seeing dark gray or black cubes inside of clear spheres, and we were seeing these all over our working areas on a near daily basis, sometimes coming as close as 500 feet.
Congress members Jared Moskowitz, Tim Burchett, and Anna Paulina Luna all claim the intelligence community and elements within the military have worked to keep information we do have about UAP encounters secret.
They do exist or they don't exist. They keep telling us they don't exist, but they block every opportunity for us to get a hold of the information to prove that they do exist.
When I take at face value the numerous roadblocks that we've been presented with, it leads me to believe that they are indeed hiding information. I look forward to bringing this topic to light.
We asked if there are more pieces of actual physical evidence, pictures or videos of UAPs, either in the air or on the ground, that the Pentagon has.
I've seen better quality videos, dude. Absolutely 100%, and they need to release them.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.